Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. With all these remakes and remasters hitting the shelves, it feels like every game out there is being repackaged and resold faster than you can say, The Last of Us 1-3, we promise it's different this time, give us $70 edition. So with that in mind, I thought it would be the perfect time to dive back into one of the most creative eras in gaming, the PlayStation 2 days. Boasting over 4,000 titles, the PS2 brought us a massive selection of unforgettable games. And since production costs were lower back then, developers were more willing to be experimental with their products. Many of these titles were really innovative and pushed the boundaries for what video games could do back then. A bit of a contrast to some of the more formulaic titles we've been seeing in recent years. Current developers have been trying to rekindle the magic by re-asking you for your money, and in this video, we'll be taking a look at some of the more overlooked titles from this era that also deserve to make a comeback.
Number 5.
Okay, so I'm gonna start this list off by asking you a question. Do you like dogs? Awesome. Then you're totally gonna agree with me when I say we should bring Parappa the Rapper back. Now, you might remember this series from its PS1 debut, featuring a paper-thin dog who wants to pollinate a flower. But have you played the sequel? It's incredible! Parappa enters a contest and wins a lifetime supply of instant noodles, and after a while he gets sick of eating noodles all the time, so he wants to eat burgers with his friend instead, and that's when they realize that all the food in town is turning into noodles for some reason, so they go on an adventure and they try to fix it. It's ridiculous, man. But the cutscenes are hilarious, and the whole experience is just so much more robust than its predecessor. The gameplay is also a massive improvement, and the required timing of the inputs is much more forgiving.
You big? You think you're big, kid?
I think I'm big.
And I'd even say the songs are better this time around.
Meet me at the corner, pick you up the 7. Wear your best dress and I'll take you to heaven. Yes. Hi. Hold hands, face to face, get romantic, let's get it on.
This series overall was just so charming, and I would love to see more of it. Weird, quirky rhythm games like this one are kinda hard to come by nowadays, and when you think of the PlayStation brand, Parappa's one of the OG mascots that comes to mind. He's right up there with the likes of Orange Guy and Pointy Bozongo.
Number 4.
Do you like Japan?
Come on!
Do you like amazing stealth action?
Ninja! Where are you?
Then you're gonna love this next one. It's from a series that's very near and dear to my heart. What's this thing called again? Ritai Ninja Katsugeki Tenchu Shinobi Gaisen, I think. Released in 1998 on the PS1, Tenchu is the granddaddy of stealth action games, and was a real standout in an era dominated by colorful platformers and fast-paced action titles. The series continued to evolve with several games on the PS2, and my personal favorite one was Wrath of Heaven. It feels like the most fleshed out, actualized version of the original game's vision. The story is set in feudal Japan, and you have 2 playable characters, each with their own unique gameplay style and storylines. The stealth mechanics are a lot less clunky than the PS1 games were, and the combat is a lot more refined here. Sure, the AI is absolutely brain dead.
Ninja! Where'd you go? Forget it.
And the cutscenes have ridiculous voice acting.
No! This can't be happening to me!
Oh, that's a nice pair you have.
Wait! No! I'm not ready!
I'm ready. Why don't I show you?
Let the girl go?
What? How dare you disturb my game of cards?
But that's all part of the vibe, and it makes the whole experience that much more fun. It's like Shenmue, you know? With other games set in ancient Japan becoming cool again in recent years, I mean, this is the perfect time to release a new Tenchu game. You may have heard that Sekiro Shadows Die Twice was originally supposed to be a Tenchu reboot, and they absolutely should have just stuck with that idea and made another Tenchu game. I don't like this game. Sorry. The point is, ninja games are coming back, and this series deserves another shot. The gameplay was a ton of fun, and Tenchu really paved the way for several other successful games in a genre that's largely been forgotten. We need more stealth games.
Number 3.
Okay, so the third spot on our list goes to an entire genre that truly defined the early 2000s.
I'm really sorry, son, but I'm afraid we'll have to amputate.
extreme sports games. Now, originally, I was just gonna dive into skateboarding games since, those were the most popular at the time, but the PS2 honestly had so many hidden gems, and these were everywhere back in the day, and for good reason. Whether you were shredding through the snow in SSX Tricky, or tearing up the tracks in ATV Off-Road Fury, or snapping into a Slim Jim in Dave Mirra's Freestyle BMX 2, extreme sports games ruled the scene. What made these games so special was their ability to appeal to both hardcore sports fans and gamers looking for something fun and different. They all offered a unique set of mechanics that hooked players instantly. What really stands out though is how well these games hold up. I'd argue that some of them might even be more fun than modern attempts at the same formula. The controls were tight and the levels were designed to be replayable, and overall the whole experience was just extreme! There was always something new to try, and whether it was perfecting a trick or exploring new areas of the game, these were just so much fun. So what happened to the genre? Well, it did fade away, and the reason why is oversaturation. It seemed like every few months or so, a new extreme sports game would hit the shelves, and while some of them were really good, others were... But here's the thing. People still want games like these. Titles like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remastered and Riders Republic prove that there's still a craving for these kind of experiences. We just need more developers willing to take the plunge and bring them back.
Number 2.
Sly Cooper, released in 2002 by Sucker Punch, was an absolute gem of a platformer that managed to stand out even at a time when platformers were everywhere. You play as a sneaky raccoon who goes on all sorts of adventures with his titular band of thieves. What really set Sly Cooper apart was its aesthetic and its unique blend of stealth and platforming segments. As the series evolved, Sly 2 and 3 took everything great about the first game and added major improvements. The game introduced more playable characters and bigger, more open environments. My personal favorite will always be the second one. I just really liked the atmosphere, and the gameplay was so much more fleshed out from the original, but honestly, all 3 entries in the series are a must-have if you're collecting games for the PS2. Now, attempts have been made to revitalize the series, with Thieves in Time coming out in 2013, and there was also that CG movie that was announced but never came out. What do you guys think? I feel like remakes of Crash Bandicoot and Spyro coming out, and we also got that Metroid Prime remake. This is the perfect time to make a game like Sly Cooper come back. The franchise was so good, and they could definitely build it back up if they remade the originals.
Number 1.
And perhaps unsurprisingly, the number 1 spot on our list goes out to the Jak and Daxter series. If you didn't own these games, well, let's just say you were probably a Nintendo kid who played baby stuff. Or worse, an Xbox guy, so gross! Ugh! Released a whopping 23 years ago by
Naughty Dog.
Jak and Daxter took the open world platforming genre and polished it to perfection. The controls were tight and responsive, environments were huge, and you could travel between them seamlessly. But nowadays, I think the series is remembered more for the second and third entries, which were a massive change in tone from the original, making the whole series feel darker and much more mature. These games introduced vehicles, gunplay, and a more complex narrative, turning the series into a mashup of Grand Theft Auto and Ratchet and Clank. It was ambitious, but it worked. Except for there not being enough checkpoints in Jak 2. Whoever designed those should be burned alive. Jak 3 continued this trend while refining the mechanics even further, making it one of the best threequels on the system. They also made a racing game spin-off that was surprisingly robust and fun. It's honestly kind of baffling how this franchise hasn't made a comeback yet. I always thought it was kind of strange how the Ratchet & Clank series has continued to receive regular entries, despite never being as good as the Jak series in my opinion. Don't Burn My House Down. You know for a fact, if Naughty Dog announced a new Jak and Daxter game and it was an exclusive for the PlayStation 5 Pro, people would go buy a $700 console instantly. So there you have it, 5 classics that are absolutely begging for a comeback. These games all push the boundaries of what could be done back then and help define the PS2 era with their creativity, charm, and innovation. With all the remakes we've been getting in recent years, it's clear that nostalgia for this golden age of gaming is at an all-time high. So, what do you guys think? Which PS2 games would you have liked to see in this video? I know there are definitely games that we did not talk about in this video. There's definitely more than just 5 games that should be brought back. So leave a comment if you'd like to see another one, and I might make another video about this topic. I think it's interesting to talk about. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.